Hi, this is a thematic lecture for Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. This is Chapter 1, Section 2, focusing on the topic questions. Explain how Clarisse affected Montag. We have already had this encounter with Clarisse on a midnight walk, and so the first part of Section 2 is going to focus on how Montag processes this and how it makes him feel. He is asked if he is happy, and he says, first of all the nonsense, what does she think? I'm not? Now he is wondering whether she was able to see something in him that he couldn't see himself. If he's asked if he's happy, he says, yes, I'm happy. I like my job. I have a wife. I have this nice home. But for some reason, Clarisse has asked him that, which kind of implies that maybe she sensed that he wasn't happy. He looks up. As he enters his house, he stands looking up at a ventilator grill, something that lays hidden behind that grill. It is something that he is drawn to, that he looks up to. It's kind of this mystery. And then he thinks about this encounter he's just had, that it was this strange meeting on a strange night. But he remembered a year ago he met this old man in the park and they had talked. So it's implied that he's had other encounters like this. Maybe in the past he had a talk with some old man and this affected him in some way. And so he is remembering this encounter after he has talked to Clarisse. He thinks about these ideas, and we have these images. She had a very thin face, like the dial of a small clock seen faintly in the dark. So we have, again, the darkness of the night, the darkness as a metaphor for the world if we're not looking at it, and this idea of darkness moving through the darkness, like time is passing in this dark place. But then he also compares her to a mirror. Her face is like a mirror. And so he has looked and seen himself in her eyes. He has looked at her and seen her as a gentle candle illuminating things. But he also compares her face to like a mirror. You look at it, you see yourself. Throw back, your expression at yourself. She's also compared to this watcher of a marionette show. A marionette is a puppet that is suspended on strings. We know they're suspended on strings. We can see them suspended on strings. We know they're being manipulated by other powers, and yet we watch the marionettes kind of ignoring those strings, ignoring those connections. And this shadow she threw on the wall. Now, if you think about this imagery, that oftentimes the shadow on the wall is quite a lot larger than the actual object. A very small person can throw a large shadow on the wall. So this kind of implied that the 17-year-old girl on this one night has maybe had this huge effect, but the shadow is again this darkness, this not well-defined, fully detailed thing. So he's thinking about this, thinking about these ideas of the girl as shedding light, as being a reflection, a mirror to him, and then he walks into his own bedroom, into this place where his wife is, and it is also compared to a mausoleum, that it is full of complete darkness, that it is tomb-like, the chamber, a tomb world where no sound. So a mausoleum and a tomb, these are dead things. So the bedroom is darkness, the bedroom is death, where his wife is, whereas she is this light, this magical image of the light casting this giant shadow. So it has him thinking about a past conversation with an old man. It has him thinking about this thing hidden above the ventilator grill. And it has him looking inside about his own life and his own happiness.